Actually.
It's the man with the plan. I ain't Clark Kent, but some of the ladies do call me Superman. It's your boy, Big Cali. I'm here feeling good, feeling great as usual. And with another episode. I don't know what number. It was 25 maybe. I'm going to go with 25. It feels good. Episode 25 of Big Cali World. And first off, before we get started, for all your podcast needs, audio and visual, go to productiveculture.com/podcast in the How Did You Hear About Us section. Put in Big Cali World. You can get that special discount for your podcast. Also, for this clothes and all other UTB accessories, go to utblifestyle.shop. And yeah, man, it's a vibe. We here. Our utblifestyle.store. Thank you. They definitely did change that website a couple months ago. Thank you. All right, and for this podcast, go to bigcaliworld.com and go to YouTube. Follow the Big Cali World YouTube page. Now that we paid all them bills, I have special guests today. I've been knowing this man for possibly almost a decade now. I'm just gonna say almost a decade, in that range. And this has been a long time coming. This is a good friend of mine, good brother, great musician, great artist. Seefor, they are Seefor Yourself. Excuse me, is it Seefor or Seefor Yourself? I've been calling you Seefor the whole time.
First name, last name. So you can say the last name if you want to.
I love it. I respect it, brother. How you doing, man? Welcome to Big Cali World.
I'm blessed, man. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you, brother.
Bro, it's been a long time coming. And I'm honestly, it was funny. You were hitting me up. And I was like, bro, we got to do this. I was like, bro, I know we got to do this, bro. And I was like, we got to do this. Then the fucking pandemic hit. And then we got out of studio. And I was like, okay, we got to wait. Then we started doing these live streams. Yep. And then you dropped something. You dropped Divided States of America. You dropped that on November 3rd.
Yep.
You're like, I'm dropping it right around election time. And I was like, dang, I wish we could have did it then.
Yep.
So then
it works out.
It worked out because yesterday the world there saw America's ass, bro. And we saw clearly how divided this country really is.
Yep.
And bro, you can talk about it a little bit. Depending on when this episode drops, it could be old, I don't know. Either way it goes, they know about those protesters, or I should say terrorists, that went and took over the Capitol and clearly showed the division. Like, that is not our America. That is not what we're doing. And that's why I loved with you with this project. It was a 3-song EP, Divided States of America, bro. Talk about that a little bit, bro.
Man, this first joint, so I got the visual out for the video, Divided States of America. I actually, with my man, Oh Gosh Leotis, shout out to Oh Gosh, and my boy
Shout out Oh Gosh, yo. I heard his shit with Curtis, the Jew, that shit. Oh Gosh is hard, so that explains the beats. I was like, who fucking produced all that shit?
Yep. No, I was living in Texas, so I've been back just a little over a year now. So I came out here and I didn't know Oh Gosh, but I hit him up. I was like, yo, man, when I come out, I know we don't know each other, but here's some of the stuff that I've done. I work with some of the people you work with. Let's build that relationship and start building. I came out. So I actually started that song in 2019. So people are like, you played this trying to fit in. I've been on this stuff. So
I knew you were gonna say some shit like that. Yeah. Like, bro, you've been doing these tracks, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I'm grown. I've moved around. I've seen a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? It just, So I've seen it coming. It's not new. We all know it's not new.
No, it's not. And the one thing I like about it is it didn't feel like, because, all right, let's just, elephant in the room, obviously. You're white, bro. And it doesn't seem like you're some white rapper that's trying to everybody's going to talk about social injustice, so we're going to talk about social justice.
Right.
If you listen to it, you're talking about everything that happened literally within 2020. And if you made that in 2019, that really blows me. It's crazy. Like, the imagery you painted with that shit is bananas, bro.
Right.
So what really because the first one I want to go into when you went with collusion.
Yep.
Fucked me up, bro.
I might have done 2018.
Damn.
But I mean, it's not nothing new happened in 2020.
I'm glad you said that.
Nothing new happened, you know what I mean? It's just things got exposed, and now that we have the social media and just the other people can start seeing what other people experience, share our stories. People have the ability to throw their bullshit opinions out immediately.
Immediately, right?
Yeah, we build that tension. But now collusion, I talk about. That's some of my history. You know, I grew up a military brat. Rest in peace to my pops. And so I was born in North Carolina, Fayetteville. I moved to Germany. I moved to Alabama. I grew up. My teenage years were in Cali, Texas, which is the biggest army base in America.
Right.
A huge melting pot. Even though I'm in Texas, everybody at the military base isn't really from Texas. Everybody's from everywhere. So I grew up in, you know, Panamanian households, Jamaican households, Hispanic households, Puerto Rican households, white, black, you name it. And everybody's parent works for the same damn employer.
Yeah, because you're all
or has a connect to everyone for miles upon miles. But just on the same hand, it's the culture melting pot. So being able to experience these different things, different cultures. We're talking about food, we're talking about music, we're talking about dance, we're talking about religion, beliefs. So it's dope to get that wide array of different things.
Right.
I know it might seem like I'm speaking on something else, but in collusion.
No, talk. No. Talk. Yeah. I understand because it's like a big. It's a bigger picture to this. So go ahead, take your time, man.
Right, but no, so then being in Texas, my folks are from Texas. You're not gonna have, you know, a 7-year-old a father, you know, a mother in the South and not be racism in the family. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And it's taught. People know this stuff, you know, weren't born like this. This is this crazy shit you see going on. People are like, oh, Trump caused this. No, Trump didn't cause this. Their mommies and daddies and their mommies and daddies who taught people that shit caused this. He just, you know, allowed it to take place and make people feel enabled.
That was like one of the things I remember my like RP, you know, my father too. I was saying like he's from the South too. And I remember growing up, he used to say a lot of like for instance, even funny, like I remember when The Help came out. Okay, the movie The Help. And my mom was so excited to see it and was like, all right, we're gonna go see The Help. My dad was like, I'm sick of these movies. Oh, it's showing these kind of, why they gotta have a white person save the black people and do all this and do all that and what's all this? And I'm like, we're like, Dad, that's such like a racist ass thing to say. He's like, y'all don't understand. But it was like, bro, he grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana in the 50s. Right. And so he's seen white, like it's just different. So I understand what you were saying. You know, you have a 7-year-old father, you know, or you know, parent household, you're around it. It is. You see the collusion. You see how it can be all inclusive in there.
Right. So there's a point in the song I start talking about. You know, my father told me when we were younger, he was like, I can't help but have a little bigger than me. I wish I didn't. You know what I mean? And I feel like before he passed away, I personally helped change that. Me and my friend, shout out to Berger, just, you know, him experiencing that thing. So,
and you can't, if he was raised a certain way, I don't want to say convince it to where it's okay, like, oh, it gives an excuse, but I mean, that's what he's around. Like, what do you, and he grew up in that, and the fact that you were able to usher him before, of course, his passing to a different way of looking and even open-minded from your son, you couldn't ask for anything else on that, man.
Right. Well, my brothers, my friends are as tight, if not tighter than a lot of my family. So I consider a lot of my friends family, which you know how to,
of course.
So just that, and then my wife's black. Therefore, my children are black. Therefore, his only grandkids are black kids.
How was that transition?
That's a line.
I want to say that's his old thing.
I'm gonna just quote it. Changes. The youth brings change. Sometimes it seems the teachers need to learn from them. When dad raises a family, that next of kin might repeat that same Ku Klux plan again. They used to be afraid of the color of your skin till we peeled that melanin and replaced it on him. Had a racist granddad with some black grandkids that I guarantee he loved nobody more in life than them. Unlearn everything, and then it just goes on from there. Now,
let's go.
It was a Ku Klux Klan, but I'm just painting a picture on how, you learn from your elders, but at some point, the student can become the teacher.
Of course.
And then love conquers all. At least I like to think of.
Of course, and if you're you summed it up. I'm not even gonna try to miss it. You said it all right there, man. And judging from that and doing with that time, and when you're saying the collusion, what spoke out to me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, with the collusion, why it was so prevalent. Like, I go back to even when that Dave Chappelle skit, when just recently he dropped, it was like that 18-minute skit where he was talking about how all the lawyers in the group were all in on it with the contract, and he thought he was like they were all in on it, like they were telling me it was a great contract, but they were all in. It's like, how do you know? And it's like our leaders right now, like they're telling us, even on the left and the right, it seems like, and the bad people, and it's like they're all in. Like, who do you trust? What do you do? You know?
Yeah, it's the extremes that are killing us right now. And don't get me wrong, I don't know all the ins and outs of our government and how this shit works. As I'm getting older, and I hate having to know about it, but it's things I need to know about because that's our world, and that's how our country's set up. So and I'm a registered independent. I am a Democrat. I'm not a Republican, but it's the extremes on both sides that are the problems. Trying to convince somebody other than what they strongly believe is damn near impossible.
I would never ever try to change someone's view or even try to skew. And you're not the one that have all the answers or anything like that, but you used your outlet, which is art, music, to speak that. A lot of people feel like you feel on all races, all walks of life. That's why I love the fact that we're even talking about this now, and your song's even called about it today, because it's like, bro, this is what our ancestors, this is what the people who fought for us to get to have these conversations, to be open, to even have these opportunities. And trust me, with your music, bro, especially with this, I keep bringing up this that mixtape, or what is it, the EP? Because this is a 3-song.
It's a 3-song EP. It's a 3-song EP. So Divided States of America, the first song, Collusion, then Divided States of America, and then Believe in Me, which is Aquarius, the age of Aquarius, age of innovation. So that represented progress. So,
so you start off with the issue, but then have the solution.
Some history, just some thoughts of different things going on. And then in the beginning, I'm talking about Killer Mike, because I literally walked into the studio. The story I tell at the beginning of the song.
I was going to ask you, was that story true?
On Instagram, looking at Killer Mike, reading Killer Mike's post, where he was talking about collusion, and he was talking about how, our enemies, they collude together. Their families go on vacation together. Their children go to school together. And then on the other side of that, we got all us fighting on social media, fighting against each other. But the real enemy is those 1% that are colluding against us and keep us fighting. So we're fighting the wrong people. So I talk about that, and then I got the idea for the hook, which I explained in the beginning of the song, and then I already had that verse done. I was like, this goes. So we're just gonna go with this.
You literally explained the way you explained it for the people that haven't heard the track. The way you explained it right now, you're like, okay, yeah. So I came up with the hook, and then I just blacked out right here. So I'm just gonna black out right here, and he just really blacked out. It really started spitting, bro.
Right.
I want to speak about the whole thing with your hip hop and your music. Like, how did this start? How did Seefor start rapping? Was it in Texas? Was it? Because you say you're moving around.
Yeah.
How did it start?
It's military. That's kind of what I was alluding to earlier. I'll get to jumping all over the place, so forgive me.
You're good. It's been Cali's world. We go anywhere, baby. We here.
But no, growing up, I remember Alabama. That was 80s. So I was first grade, kindergarten. So I'm 42, by the way. I'm older. Kindergarten, I remember like Run DMC coming out, and then just breakdancing being big. Herbie Hancock. So I got the cardboard boxes. I was all into breakdancing.
Puma or Adidas?
We didn't. We was beginning military, so my shit had 2 stripes, bro. I wanted
respect.
So bad. The motherfuckers always had 2 stripes.
You said, we're military, bro. That was even option.
The Blue Max was the dope bike, and the yellow ass Huffy was the bullshit. So we had the yellow ass Huffy. My dad just sanded that bitch down, painted that shit blue, made the shit look tight.
Respect.
Made it work with what we have. But so I got into just love hip hop, b-boy and breakdancing. And then when I moved to Texas, in middle school and high school, just the culture was there. This is 90. So I graduated in 96. So I'm starting high school 92, 93. You know the era of hip hop that is.
Come on, bro. You were in high school in 92?
Yes,
93.
literally, you know, there's school talent shows. The radio station on the base is hosting talent shows, and it's the high school kids performing. And like at lunch, there's like ciphers, like 9th, 10th grade when I'm in Texas. Like there are ciphers. And the homies, the head of it, it was called the school system, and one of the everybody had like school names. We were called OCP, which was on campus punishment, but we called it on campus players. And then
I knew it was on campus players. I felt it in my soul. I was like, oh, it's on campus players.
For sure. Outkast, all that major influence.
Yeah.
But the ones who started it, they was called schoolyard flunkies. It was 3 of them. They was all 5th year seniors. But what's crazy is they all smart and creative as shit. But you know, sometimes that don't go hand in hand with, you know, whatever life brings you. But yeah, nah. So
I'm laughing at 5th year seniors that started to click together. Yeah. That's great. That's awesome.
And there was like 5, 6 different groups within the crew, and everybody was different. Like we had the playground bullies, and it was more like Wu-Tang, like boot camp click feel, and like so there was talent, and cats were dope. They were super dope.
Where is this at again? I'm sorry. Exactly. What's it?
Texas. Fort Hood, Killeen, Texas. Some of the older homies, Vic and Tyrone, which were from the 5th year seniors, they went on and they actually worked with Erykah Badu and Dallas and like writing, and they've done some stuff. So like in high school, came from that, and then moved to my dad retired from the military, got a job out here, and we moved to Cali. So we're driving. I remember coming over Big Bear. I think they were on 92.3 The Beat at the time, but it was the Wake Up Show with Sway and Tech. And as soon as the radio station came in, it was a commercial with like Razkaz and Saphir, and I think like Lauryn Hill and Nas was on that for the Wake Up Show. So as soon as the radio station comes in, I hear, you know, 94, 95 Razkaz spitting. I was like,
real West Coast shit, real shit.
Yeah, just spitters.
And it's the first time you're hearing this on the way to Cali.
I heard this. Like the radio station comes in, it just so happens to be a Wake Up Show commercial. So I hit that. So I'm hyped as hell. We ended up moving to Corona.
Why Corona? From all the way to California and in Corona.
My dad had a job in, I think it was Tustin. So coming out of the military, he worked for a company called Cartwright. They made the scoring systems for Apache helicopters. He came out of Apache days, so it's just in line with that. But Orange County was expensive as hell. Just like
of course
you have Lake Elsinore, Mobile, Paris, where houses are a little more affordable now. Like Corona, that spot in the mid 90s.
At that
time. Before it kept pushing out, so we could afford to live there. But yeah, man. So then I just got into it. High school is okay. We would always listen to the Wake Up Show. I had turntables. I had like one of those 8-second samplers on my shit. So DJing a little bit. B-boy, like I said earlier, and then beatbox in Texas. So just all of it. And then when I got to I went to Cal Poly Pomona. I ran track at Cal Poly my first year. But then outside our dorms, one night they had it was an open mic. It was called, I don't know if you're familiar with Foundation. The Foundation Fun Collective.
Break it down.
That was the big open mic in the 90s where all like our era MCs, so like all the LA cast would come out. And it was popping. So like me, Burger, Poseidon, you know DJ Gabriel.
Yes.
So Gabriel was our DJ.
The OG, that's my OG. Yes.
Yep. So Gabriel would DJ, and then we would kind of host the event. It was just open mic ciphers every week. So I got into that, and then
shout out DJ Gabriel. Sorry, we can't just pass that vibe. My man, that's a legend. If people don't know, that's a legend of the DJ world.
He had like a 2-second sampler. He had an ASRX, and we had a Tascam 4-track tape recorder. So you had 4 tracks. Damn. 2 of them were beats, and then we had 2 tracks to bounce back and forth. With all of it, we would make it work. So there. Wake Up Show summer tour. I went. They had the beat was like, "Yo, Leimert Park Visions Theater. We're having an MC battle to see who can make it on the Wake Up Show summer tour." So I went and did that, and I didn't know Project Blow It. I didn't know Mike and Nine, AC Alone, and any of these people.
Right.
More than that day, it was like, yo, you're dope. So I ended up actually making the tour, and I was on like the Wake Up Show summer tour battle then, and just started getting on the Wake Up Show, and then we started, you know, making moves. Ended up eventually that Club Elements, which I started going up there like 99 in LA, and 909 cats. We was doing well. So
hold on. Let's just so in 90,
like it was all popping there, yeah. Late 90s.
So you're telling me, so the IE, you're from the IE in Corona at this time, late 90s at this time. So what's popping right now? We're talking Jay-Z just dropped Reasonable Doubt. We have to put it in like perspective of what time period. Biggie and Pac just passed away, and you out here on damn near on tour, going around and then making your rounds around the California hip hop scene.
Yeah,
from the Inland Empire.
There's hip hop spots. They were all in LA. I.e., you got just like regular clubs. Like we would rock
at that time too.
Yeah, yep. And in early 2000s, me and Burger started. Or I ended up making the Blaze Battle. So I made Final 2 at the House of Blues for the Blaze Battle to be on HBO. So 2000, I was on HBO, and that's when things started popping. So we got record label meetings everywhere.
How was that HBO experience? That first HBO experience from the IE on there, and you're like, "Hey, my nigga, I'm about to go in." And did you know it was on HBO? Did they tell you, or did you find out later?
No. So I won it was at House of Blues, the regionals, and it's like cats from D12 over there, like. You can go on my YouTube, on my website. It's on there, and like Debo standing behind me with his girl. Sir Jinx is on the tables. It's like Exhibit and Taz hosting. Raz Kaz is there, like in the house.
What kind of West Coast conglomerate is
this? And it's packed wall to wall. So that was a fire battle, and that was the West Coast prelims. So me and the homie Loud from Hollywood made it out of there. But you had like Locksmith was in that battle. I forgot Swift from D12 was in that battle. Otherwise beat Eminem in the Rap Olympics. Medusa, I battled Medusa personally, like Peace from Freestyle Fellowship. It's like it was stupid. So I got my clips on there.
Did they underestimate you because of your skin color in the rap battles? Did they try to like play and you just came and like how was that experience like? Maneuvering through that?
So I'd already been battling the Elements. So like the MCs and everybody from the LA Underground, your AC Alone, Project Bloat, all them cats already knew.
Got you.
Already knew what I was capable of. But Blaze Magazine Vibe Magazine put out Blaze Magazine to compete with The Source at the time.
Got you. Okay.
So we were on the tour for that. So the cats came from the East Coast. They didn't know who I was. So they set me up against the dude KT, who had just got second place out in the New York battle. And then yeah, I think so. And he said,
yeah, I think so.
You can go and watch it. I'm mad because the video cuts off him in the hallway and this girl comes out. She's like, you served everybody. Right after that, the curtain opens and Debo walked in. He's like, yo. No, like, yo. He walks up. He's like, this the real Debo. This the Debo of rap. I'm like, I don't not have that footage. I'm so mad. Somebody has it somewhere.
What? RP Tiny, man.
It's on my YouTube. So I've got to do some fun shit. So I did good.
Nah, you know what's funny? I can see it in your face when you said that. You were like, what's going on? And we put the website at the bottom right there. IamSeeforYourself.com. Put that on there. Lit.
Out. Just scroll to the bottom. I got videos. You'll see the one this battle. It looked like the kid version of me in a 909 t-shirt.
That's so rapping hard. Like, fuck it.
Oh, we rap hard. We rap super hard. Like the whole squad would like load up and we would like caravan out there.
Wow. So you really like laid out a lot of that first like foreground with you and even your crew. So who are you? You say I know you. Who are you running with at that time? Because who was the people that was in your immediate crew at that time?
It was Gabriel was the DJ, the producer. Me and Burger, we were called the Outskirts, but we had Traveling Circus which was our crew. We had the homie Jelani, who was more. He was your weird ass abstract like dancer. But more that hip hop freestyle dance from that era, like Black Eyed Peas stuff.
Right.
I don't know. You know Poseidon?
Nah, I haven't.
You know Poseidon if you see him. So Poseidon,
a lot of these people I know if I see them, and you have to excuse like I do. And you know Poseidon.
You know Poseidon. He's straight corporate dude now, but He's one of the illest freestyles ever. Not necessarily the illest like battlers on stage, but just if you cipher
just pure freestyles.
Yeah, that dude is nuts. So we had that. We would go to LA, and then we would go to freaking like Club Metro and all the regular clubs. But then on Sunday night, UCR has Soul on Sundays. You familiar with that?
No. Okay. You got to put us on. Soul on Sunday. You got to run. Let me give you context. I graduated 2007.
Okay.
So I'm 88. I was born in 88. So so when I was out there, when y'all was doing all that, I was like, I was younger. But a lot of my OGs tell me these stories because, and the only reason I like to bring this up too is because a lot of people from my generation, especially even younger, don't know these stories.
Right.
They'll be like, oh, the IE niggas is we still trying to put on for the IE and still trying to go to LA and do the whole thing because I live in Hollywood now. So I'm still doing the same format that y'all were doing 10, 20 years ago, but still doing it and still progressing in that thing. So that's why bridging those gaps. So excuse my ignorance for not knowing, but I'm like, I'm into it like, damn, like what the hell? Y'all really did the same blueprint. But yet we've never talked about this, but yet I'm like, dang, it's the same exact grind. And it works. It really does work because
it progressed. Y'all taking over well. I mean, on to us doing it, and then like Curtis and that whole Black Crowd crew, and then on the everybody keeps like progressing and moving forward. So it's dope. That's dope. But I gotta.
Sorry, my bad. I keep cutting you off, bro. My fault. G.
Yeah, we're good. Soul on Sundays. So UCR did Soul on Sundays. It was all R&B. And like hip hop all day long. So everybody in the IE in the area who got the station knew you just turned on and it was on all day because they were playing just like the jams from classic soul to current, everything. Everybody had different shows. But the homie Gabriel and then B-Boy had the Ghetto Blaster. And it came on at, I think, either midnight to like 4 in the morning or it was like 1 a.m. to 4 in the morning. So we would get out the club and they're spinning like underground hip hop, and they'll have guests, and then we always come in there at the end of the night and just have ciphers to set the night off. So that was live. We put the radio there, the college radio. College radio was big. That's where people would break records. You would have to start on college radio, and things would pick up, and then you could work your way to regular radios.
Is that like 88? I think it was like 88.9 or 88.3 or so. It was like KUCR. I remember it. I know.
I think it's 88.3. I could be wrong.
So no, I could be wrong too, but I remember it was something in that range. And I do remember a college radio station because they played all the slaps. Like they were playing, and they did that even when in my time when I was in college. So wow, that's wild. That's crazy. That's how I know you're telling the truth. I'm like, damn, they still did that shit.
It was fun,
same shit. So from you doing that from you doing the freestyles on that show, how'd you transition that into even your career? Because I remember you were telling me when I first met you, like you were on tour with a lot of, I don't know how deep or far you want to go, but you've been doing this rap shit. Like
it was a grind. So coming out of Blaze Battle, and then it was on HBO. I won the first round, and in the second round I got robbed. And it was against the same dude who I actually battled in LA that I served that they brought from Boston. So they tried to set that back up and turn it into a story. You've heard, Idea, Ideas. So that's where Idea blew up at. Idea won the Blaze Battle. So that was the thing So it should have progressed and been me and Idea at the end, but rest in peace to that dude. It was definitely his night. He killed it. But coming out of the Blaze Battle, so this is in Brooklyn. We're at Hammerstein Ballroom in Brooklyn. So, I knew it was going on HBO, like his contracts. The magazine that went under, but they blocked Blaze Battle from Blaze Magazine, and it was the first, like, televised big MC battle.
Right.
But there was a shitload of fights. You got, like, Shine performing, like, that's when people was doing their songs, like, 8 times and running it back. Black Rob.
Let's go. I love it.
We started the battle to like 3 in the morning, dude. New York time. So. But
that's coming. I'm sorry. You like Sean performing Black Rob. We didn't even battle till 3 in the morning on some New York.
Yeah, it was. The
That's
LA
a moment though. Imagine. So this is like 02, like 02, like 01.
The 2001.
Okay.
But still, I'm not back in the end of 2000. That's so cold. It was wintertime. Yes, but coming out of that, I did well enough. And you know, when you do well and you get robbed and people think you should have won, then people got your back. Like if you would have won the thing, I would have had a bunch of haters. But like the next morning, Big Boy was on the radio, and then the homie Dr. Stank called me. He's like, Big Boy on the radio talking about you, saying like you was fired. So call him. So I called Big Boy, and then I started getting record label meetings. So we met with like Elektra. We were gonna Elektra had offered not a publishing deal, a production deal, and it was I'm drawing a blank. Who runs Rock Nation now? Jay Brown. So I met with Jay Brown at Elektra, and he wanted to sign us to his production company. But all I could think is about like was how Pebbles ripped off TLC. And then I ain't signing a production deal and then signing a deal. We should have did it, but anyway.
How long was the production deal for? Do you remember?
Well, it was like a demo deal. It was a production deal. Do a demo deal. We signed to his company, and then if we got something dope, then we signed to the label.
Oh yeah, you could have signed it. You could have. I feel you though. In retrospect, though, I understand. I know what you mean because Pebbles. Them niggas was fucking artists. They're fucking artists now, but in the 90s, it was just different. It was the Wild Wild West for real. Like, no social media, no documentaries about anything. Just all you know is get signed, here's your money, and hopefully it works. Hopefully you get so big where you can buy your shit back one day.
Right. So, but our songs were okay at the time. I mean, again, this is the era where you had to go pay for studio time and hope your shit was dope off bat, trying to figure it out. You know, like on the first or two records, because you're paying $40 an hour for something decent. You know what I mean? So you learn it while you're in there. You'd be like, this is okay. But
no one had home studios to work it out. It wasn't there.
No. So going through all that, and then we got a dope demo. We started shopping it. I remember Def Jam called. I was working. Shout out to the homie Fingers. I was working with Fingers. And then we were producing stuff, and Def Jam called. They're like, "You're gonna be the next Def Jam artist. You're working with Just Blaze, everybody we got. We love your producers. You're gonna work with them as well." And then 9/11 happened. So everything shut down. People stopped going to movies. Everybody got fired from labels, but people had money, so we ended up getting investors trying to do it independent. But this is also the time where a photo shoot's $5,000. If you want a website, they're asking for $15,000 for a flash website. So I just not know what we're doing.
I know it's gonna be niggas hearing this like $15,000 for a website. Damn.
We started on label. We had investors, and we just didn't know what we were doing. You know what I mean? Business wise. But we got to do some cool shit.
You know what's interesting about that though? We went through the same thing. Like I was talking about that when my boy got signed, Cassius. When Cassius got signed, he was working with Sony at the time when he did, and I saw that whole up and down roller coaster in business, and like them, you about to get this, and we're in these buildings. I was in studio sessions with Drummer Boy and fucking Battle Cat and freaking all them niggas, all them. But in the end, business happens, things happen that's out of your control. That's like literally, you showed up, you did the music, you have the talent, just something. Right. And we weren't capitalizing maybe how we should have at that time. Maybe the way we did it. And I wasn't for sure. I wasn't even networking. And I talk about it on different podcasts all the time. Like when it was different, like people around me at that time, I should have been like, hey, what's up? My name is Big Cali. I have a personality. I do music. I do this. Now I'm over there trying to, hey, yo, you know where some weeds at? Where the hell's at? Like I'm over there thinking about different shit that has nothing to do with my future. Now that they answered the question for me, for sure. I have homies right now I can call in every city, and I got all the extracurriculars and fun things. Right. But when it comes to maybe a meeting about some real shit, that's where I'm like, okay, but I still use it, and I still use all those lessons, people, because I didn't like blow the plug. It's just things didn't work out, and I'm sure you could attest to that even with your story. That's why I was listening to. I was like, dang, it's so interesting. We've never talked about this, but yeah, it's so many similarities to just different times in music. And
it was tough in our era because it was the transition of the digital age. So with the internet coming up, and then you have Napster and the downloads, and then the label didn't know what to do with it. So, but it was, yeah, people had money though. So it's just hustles all over the place, but nobody really knew. It wasn't like a blueprint, you know what I mean? You can follow, you can do it, so you don't really know what to look for. And it was it was a grind. We tried to figure it out independent, and we kind of ran our course there.
Right. So when it came to going in, because I was looking at your records, I got when I looked on Spotify, I found Emotional Roller Coaster.
Yeah. Yep.
That project, it came out in 2015.
Yep.
So, and first off, for just that record, if I never saw you, the way I like to listen to music, I tell people all the time, I go into it like I've never met you before.
Right.
Like I just found you in a rabbit hole, and I listened to your record unbiased, not expecting anything, because that's where you start not liking shit.
Yeah.
When I listened to Emotional Roller Coaster, and the first thing I heard was that track with the voicemail,
in
the Kansas. Yes. And then you just went in, and it was so like happy and like joyful. I was like, yeah, look, okay, cool. But then like midway through, it was like, this is some deep shit. You talking about some real shit. Right. And I wrote down even the song with like You So Beautiful, and then you end it with You Must Love Me. Excuse me. I wrote it down. I wrote this down because I was moving. I was like, gotta ask him about these.
Yeah.
What went into those songs, that project? And I just want to ask you about, because people are gonna go on it. So yeah, what about that particular project?
That's So coming out, I'll just continue the story. Like we ran through.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah, I'm just curious.
No. It ties into all that. No. I'm gonna answer your questions with it. So it was the Outskirts. It was me and Burger. We had our label. We were trying to push, and that it just kind of came to an end. And the way music, hip hop was, 2010, the direction it was going, I wasn't feeling it. The underground style of music was kind of came to a pause too, and I was like, I don't connect with this. I had always been an Outkast fan, so just things with melody. I was always good at writing my verses, get my 16 bar verses down. I produced on some of our stuff. I had ideas, but I struggled with melody. And Andre 3000 is super dope with melody, so I wanted to get better at that. I had dope singers in my camp around me, so just being able to vibe, have ideas, and tie them in. I was able to do that, and that was dope. And it kind of led to this project. I had made a song. Also got it on there. It just says home demo. That's basically the first songs. It's got a song called Falling Down on there, and I got a video for it where I was like, I want to tie it more in where I can do the singing and I can have melody. I don't have to say as much. I can say less, but I could use the melodies to bring emotion. And then if I want to get into detail with storytelling, then I can rap that part.
Makes sense.
Song structure there. So I really wanted to dig into emotion. I was young, married with a child, my son. On this album, it starts off with that voicemail from my mom saying, your dad's gonna be all right. He's doing his chemo. That wasn't the case. We knew he was about to die of cancer, but I wanted to put that I made that album for me to go back and listen to, so I could listen. It's like a history.
That makes sense. I was gonna ask you about that. Yeah,
kind of like a time capsule. And so I wanted to dig more in on emotion and painting a picture of what that journey through these emotions, through love, through pain, through struggle, through heartbreak, through maybe a struggle with religion and the questions you have, you're trying to answer, just the journey through those emotions without getting too far in detail. Some we get into hella detail on these songs, but a lot of it, just the journey of that emotion, so people can apply their own story to that journey through that emotion, and it means something to someone else as well. So that's kind of the idea is with that song or with that album.
Right. I want to talk kind of like, if you don't mind digging in on it, because I believe it's the last song on there. I don't know if I wrote it down. Is the You Must Love Me? Is that the last song on the album?
The last two songs.
The one where you were talking in detail.
Some storytelling, some details.
Yes, where you were telling the story about you getting into it with your boy and fighting and on like graduation. I was like, dang, you're really like, I feel like I'm reading your journal right now. like that was real. I was like, okay, I'm just doing my thing.
It's based on emotions and some different things that happened, but I didn't want to get into certain details, put certain people on blast, just out of respect. So the story veers, and it might be a few different stories tied together. But the first verse I'm talking, Jay-Z had made a statement on one of his documentaries, like rappers are scared to be themselves these days. So I kind of have a setup verse where I'm talking about getting comfortable being yourself. Second verse, what was that one? That was somebody needed a ride. A friend's mother passed away. I told him I was going to give him a ride to the funeral in the morning.
That's the one. That's the verse that got me. That verse.
Went out, got drunk, didn't wake up. You know what I mean? And like didn't show up. Didn't take him to his mom's funeral. Like, we're done. Like, friendship's over. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing to talk about. You know what I mean? Wow. And then it goes into like forgiveness and understanding what people have been through, understanding perspective, which this nation could probably use right now, listening to each other. Everybody wanting to be right all the time and understanding how people got to certain places. And it just, that end of that verse ends that way with him forgiving me. I was like, I don't know how you could possibly forgive me. And then you must love me. And then
how did that time happen? I'm sure, I mean, if you don't mind going in, like, how he forgave you for that? Like, how did that? Like, it got deep.
It's based on a true story. Let's just say that.
Okay.
It's based on a true story. All the details is not exact case.
But it's in there. Because honestly, you painted it so vividly.
No, yeah.
I'm going with that story. I don't care what you tell me. It's in that story. It's in there.
My boy Martin produced the track and sang the hook. He's like, man, you're a shitty friend. It didn't necessarily happen like that.
But honestly, I like when artists go there.
Yeah.
Yes, it sucks because we are enjoying your pain.
Right.
Quote unquote. You had to go through that. Whether how true, how it probably was deeper. You probably left a lot out. Who knows? It's not our business. But for what you did tell us, you let us in on that.
Right.
That shit takes. That's why I'm like, okay, when you're a real artist. That's why I just don't like to say rappers. A lot of people rap. Not a lot of people take it there. You feel me?
Yeah. Honesty, vulnerability. So I got, again, being comfortable with who you are. I moved to Texas and came back. The benefit is I got to spend some time by myself there and get to know myself better. Really understand, I don't have answers, but just understand what I'm passionate about, what's important to me. That trip was dope. I want to speak on the last verse on that song. So that's verse. Please. And then the last verse on You Must Love Me, talking about remember nights we used to chill in your parents' garage, debating the best rappers, fine girls, and gods. Everybody in their home be drinking, and talk about girls, talk about God.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody's had that relationship. So just reminiscing about, teenage years with a good friend, and then basically he ends up having a girlfriend. I'm jealous of that relationship. You know what I mean? Start, popping off, talking trash about his girl. You get in a fight. You know what I mean? That was the one.
I didn't want to bring up this verse. I was going to focus on this. This is the one that actually was the one. Okay.
Yep. That's why this one was last. So you get in a fight with your best friend. Y'all don't talk after high school. Remember, I went to school in the late 90s, and then school reunions coming up. So it's 10 years later or whatever the case may be, and you're like, we're older. Time heals. So I'm excited to see this person and start meeting up. I put I think I said MySpace on the song, might have been Facebook. That lets you know the time frame. But just excited to see this person, and you finally come across their page, and it's a dedication page. It's rest in peace, served in the military overseas at war, and passed away. So you don't get you don't have the opportunity to apologize. And so kind of just speaking to, if you, I don't want to get all preachy, but your relationships that are important to you, or whoever's watching this, you know what I mean? Handle that. If it's somebody you love, you got something going on that's between y'all, squash that before it gets too late. So that's what that verse is about.
Honestly, just to kind of like shed some light on that, when right before my father passed away, me and him was beefing like a motherfucker. Like I say, like the last, let's say 2 years before he passed away, that year and a half of that 2 years, we were beefing. And then randomly, I just got, but it was just my communication, my life was messed up. It was a lot of reasons why. It was a lot of old trauma, shit that had to do with it, you know, a lot of things. But point is, right before he passed away, I didn't know he was passing away. Of course, he wasn't sick. Like the story of it, he wasn't sick or nothing. It was like he just passed away like that. It was like quick. Yeah. Point is, I started working. I started doing right for myself. He saw me progressing. Our relationship got better. Yeah. Then we start talking. Then we start mending. Then we start actually, I love you. I love you too. Like, I don't know. Like, it was like how God set it up. He was just like, look, I'm going to give you closure without you even know you're getting closure. Yep. You know? And that was something I took from me in my thing. So that's why when I hear, before my father passed away, I know he loved me. I loved him and we were cool. Even if before that we weren't. In your situation, that's why I even feel for you. And even how true or whatever, you know, or however it is with this story, for anyone that goes through that, I feel for them. And that's why it is good to not even be all preachy, but that's the point of this. Like, this is the point of this platform. People have to hear this. If you have a problem with somebody, especially in this pandemic, we in the house, bro. You see what happens when unspoken shit that we don't deal with, how happens. Yesterday in the Capitol. That's just been happening. We've been talking about racism. We've been talking about bigotry. We've been talking about social inequality. We've been talking about all this. We've been talking about it. But no one wants to really dig in and deal with it. And you know what happens? It explodes. And then if you don't do it before it's too late, something crazy happens. I.e., you know, your situation, my situation, and even that. Not to even try to compare them all like they're the same, but
yeah, man. People say communication, and I hear all the time, you know, people we've talked enough, and that's true. People have talked enough. Steps need to be made, but I think community, you're not going to be able to make a big impact on the global scale. It starts in our own community where we're at. You know what I mean? People right around you. People can build relationships and make a safer place within our own community, and then that can multiply. So.
Hey man, and I'm just happy you used your art and used your platform to do that and spread that wisdom. All your music has a positive message, at least for what's out there. I don't know what you made before that. I don't know how it got to that, but at least for what I can listen to on Spotify, what I can pull up, everything is positive. Everything, even if it's not positive, it has a motive to it to get you to positivity if you just listen to the whole project.
Right. No, I got some tongue-in-cheek bullshit, angry stuff, but again, that's more just balance. You know what I mean? So.
But honestly, too, it's power in the tongue. It's power in what you say. It's power in your words. If we out there speaking that negativity, even if it slaps, even if it does, you know, I'm not going to use examples, but we've seen this in hip hop where a lot of when negative energy is spreaded and you see what happens. It's never usually good. The positive rapper, the ones that actually are kind of positive, even if it ain't the most, whatever you call it, it's always steady. It always has a consistent basis, and it works. And it works.
Shout out to the homie Noah James, man. He's been doing a great job of positivity. Bro. I love that dude, man.
That's my big bro, and trust me, that brother is I'll say this on podcast. I said it many times. He's a lot of the reason I even lost weight. I saw him doing videos first. He was one of the first over 400-pound men I seen really running, doing jogs. Him and his girl Lisa. Shout out Big Sis Lise. Man, Lisa J. She literally, them two together were working out, trying to change their situation. I saw Noah when he was 600 pounds. I saw him when he was that big. He saw me when I was 480 pounds, almost 500 pounds. And now, like, I lost 200 pounds. I've been working out, doing my thing. He lost way more than that over now, you know? So in the end, we've been on that same track. So, but it's all positivity. It's all he's been speaking positive the whole time.
Sometimes it takes some tough love, but in the end, that's going to be positive.
Talking.
And that dude had some conversations too. I remember shout out to the home. You know Dr. Stank? You know Stank is?
You know too many people. See, you've been around too long. You know all these things. I'm probably, how about this? If I do know him,
you know Dr. You know Dirty Birdie.
Yes.
The dude who produced all with him is Dr. Stank.
Okay, got you.
Stank had 2 records. Just so y'all know, in the late 90s, Dr. Stank was signed to Bad Boy as an artist out of Eastside, Riverside, California, a group called Funk Junk. And then he had 2 records that got popping that Felly Fell started playing. And then he got signed to MCA. So he's had two major deals. He doesn't have his stuff on like Apple Music and all that. So go to Bandcamp. I want y'all to check out Dr. Stank, but he's ridiculous.
Dr. Stank on Bandcamp, yeah.
Dr. Stank had gained a ton of weight, and it was unhealthy, like dangerously big, like we're talking. And we did a show. Exhibit had a show called Rhyme Night, and Stank had performed, and then I rocked with the homegirl Dominique, and then after he was huffing and puffing, like he couldn't get through his rhymes. And then you got all your yes men around. It's like, oh, that was dope. Oh, that was dope. And he was like, yo, Seefor, what you think? I was like, bro, you got to fix your health. You can't breathe. You can't even finish your lungs. You got to shave. You literally look like you're going to die on stage. And he was hot. And he told me, like, he was mad at me. But later on, like, I appreciate, the honesty. I was like, I love you, bro. Me telling you that was great and you look good, that's not what it's about, man.
It was a girl I was trying to talk to.
Do something for yourself, be mad at me.
Right.
So, yeah.
No, you're right. And you know what's funny? It was a girl that I was talking to back at that time. We were cool. I wanted to get with her. Mm-hmm. She literally told my homie, long story short, I was at that time, I was on drugs. I was doing a lot of shit and I was overweight. I was just living that fast DJ. Kid from the IE finally getting a taste of some success and got money, that life. Like, it is what it is. She told me straight up, she was like, she told my homie, I can't get with Chris. I can't get with Big Cali. Yep. I know if I got with him, he would love me more than he would love himself.
Right.
And I fucking went off. I called her everything but a child of God. I was over her. I was like, don't ever, whatever. Like, how you gonna say about me? I can afford it. I'm out here. You know who I am? Boo-doo-doo. In retrospect, she was absolutely correct.
Yep.
Absolutely. I didn't love myself at that time. I was harmed. I was ingesting poison. I was numbing pain from childhood trauma and life and just not knowing control, not knowing substance control, period.
Right.
Not knowing pleasure, not knowing that you shouldn't feel good all the time. You can't eat all the time. You can't smoke all the time. You can't be high all the time. You can't just, even if you have the money, you have to feel something eventually.
Right.
Yep. And for people that's out there, they know what I'm talking about. So that's interesting, man. You said that to him and you probably saved that man's life. You don't even know.
Right.
Because it's never when the crowd's there. It's when you're at your house alone, chilling.
Right.
That's when you're like, damn, you're right. He might be right.
Yep.
I
always try to be, if I can, time and place, you know what I mean? You gotta beware your friends, your circle, their level of sensitivity, their level of stability, and then
I like you said level of sensitivity. I love that. No, you're right.
I mean,
you're right.
You gotta pick your fights and battles. So.
And honestly, I love everyone that was a part of my journey because it was people. I had other homies. I was like, hey, Big C, you might want to because people tell you throughout your life.
Yeah,
it's never like that was just like the straw that broke the camel's back. Like that was just that moment. But I was getting told this since I was a young kid. Since I was always a bigger person.
Yep.
And I always needed to get it right. But it was like, all right, who's gonna really be the person to really like, all right, I got you, I'm going to tell you, I'll sacrifice our friendship just to help you. Because I might could just be like, fuck you. Don't ever come around me and insult me ever again. And, especially if I'm rich. What if I'm rich? I could really fuck your life up. Who knows? But that's why it gets dangerous. That's how I know God was like, I'm not about to bless you and get you to that next level until you take care of yourself.
Yep.
Because you'll die.
Me and Oki was talking about that. There's like, dude, we could have popped off him. And I was like, it wouldn't have been good. I wasn't ready. He's like, yeah, I wasn't ready.
Imagine.
Not be good.
Imagine. What if you would have got that 2 platinum records in 2002? 2000 platinum records tour. Like who knows what your mind would have been on? Who knows what I would have if I would have became the biggest DJ in the world in 2013?
Yeah.
With a drug habit and I was 500 pounds. I'd have just killed myself eventually. And it just happened. I'd have just did too much food one day. I'd have did too much drugs one day. Something would happen. It's just how it works.
Yep, I drank too much Hennessy or whiskey.
Something.
Yep.
It was bound to.
Yep.
And that's why you don't play with God. You don't play with the spiritual, and you take care of yourself. You do right. And to bring it back throughout your music, you talk about all this shit, though.
Right.
I'm not like talking about, like you say, ain't nothing new.
Right.
You've been talking about this.
Right. Right.
Hey, it's funny, Mom. One of the producers hit me. You say, "Is ODing on food possible?" Yes, it is. You can eat yourself to death.
Yeah, we just.
I'm not. I want to.
You can start.
I want to say. Correct me if I'm wrong, but even Big Pun, like he technically ate himself to like he just ate so much. He was big. He just was so big. His heart couldn't take it.
Nah, balance, man. Dilla's the opposite. He died of malnutrition, not eating, not taking care of himself. So
take care of yourself, man. We didn't even mean to go to this, but it's just how it is, man. Like health is what you see.
I got a song called "Love Me Some Me" on that album. Plug. Nah, you got to
shameless. I love it. I love it.
Love somebody else, but yeah,
I love it, man. Nah, bro. Before I get out of here, I wanted to ask you two more things because I know I don't want to keep you here too long, bro. I just had my shit. I want to know the "Can't Tell Me Shit" single and that hard ass video. Talk to me, brother. What if anybody go on his YouTube, check out this video? Shit's wet. Everything's the whole rollout for this was amazing. I loved it. Talk about that for a little bit. Who produced it? How'd you work with that?
So that I had moved back. I just moved back from Texas. We got to Cali, and I was hyped to be back here around my creative circle, and start working. So I hit up Okie Doke, or I'm on the song with the homie, and went over to their studio because I didn't have my studio set up. And the homie Chris Matthews had Ableton. I didn't know how to produce on Ableton, but I had this idea for the beat and the sample. How I wanted to chop it. I knew the drums. I had everything in my head. So it was like, pull up this sample. I was like, chop it like this, and give me a delay, and then just spread it out over the push. And
not so, you producing this off the dome. I
knew like I heard it in my head. That's almost my favorite
part.
I'll hear like the melody or whatever, and then I'll usually go to my crew and have them produce it. But on this one, I was able to do it. So then I sat there and produced it. I was like, I knew what drums I wanted. I was like, go here, sample the drums, put them in. We made the beat, made the beat like that. And then me and Okie came up with the hook, and we did the first verse on it that night. And then we got together a few nights, like the next week, we were laughing like, this shit is stupid. And then we wrote that second verse. If you listen to it, that whole the first verse, we're repping like IE, SoCal, just being silly, like where we from. The second verse, we're basically digging into rednecks in the middle of nowhere that would vote for Trump. So that's what that whole verse is about. It just
go listen to it a whole different way.
I'm an hour from everywhere. So we talking about being Cali. So it's basically an asshole. Like, I got a great life in Cali. You in the middle of nowhere, you broke, and Trump is selling you to vote for him. Like on that old shit. So listen to it back and forth. And we were sitting here writing it. I mean, literally crying, laughing. And Okie the whole time is like, you can't say that. You can't say that. We're not going to be able to go on tour. We ain't going to be able to go nowhere outside of California. If we go anywhere if you say this stuff. So go back and listen to the second verse.
Oh, I'm about to, as soon as this is over, I'm going back.
In that context. So we clowned it. So the last line is, have you ever seen Orange Impeached? Can't tell me shit. So yeah, just listen to it. So
oh my god.
So anyway, we did that, and then we finished recording it. I mixed and mastered that too. And then the homie Chris Matthews had a 360 camera. The homie's house, the DJ Chris Matthews, who we went over to originally, who helped us with the production in Ableton. And I had never seen a 360 camera, and he was showing me what it could do. So I was like, let's go shoot some test shots. And then I ended up just going buying one myself, and then came up with the idea. And me and Okie directed that video. So I did all the editing. We had all the ideas for the shots, and then shout out to the big homie Mike Griffin at Mike and Ike Studios. We already had the release date set, and I didn't know how to work like Final Cut, like put it all together,
Yeah.
like the 3D and all the effects editing. But I needed him to help me put it all together. So he helped. That's where we started working together for the first time. And that's how we wrapped that video up. And we literally, he ran in, he was finishing the edit. He ran in, brought his laptop. I threw the cable over the top at Mission Tobacco Lounge at the show. Like, I hadn't seen the final yet, and then we ran it for everybody. I think you
Wait,
left
so
already.
every year I left already because I had that gig. I had a gig.
Yeah. Dude, that night was so popping. Everybody went crazy when we played it. So that was a fun night. And then fucking COVID happened and everything got shut down. So
goddamn vid.
Yeah. Please go watch Can't Tell Me Shit, man. I'm proud of that one. That was one we were talking about having
a wet ass video. I told you that.
For the video, and then I need to go back and post outtakes because me and Oki got a bunch. We're just bouncing ideas.
Can we get the outtakes? What's up? The people want that shit.
Outtakes. And then shout out to my crew. So if y'all don't know, I am Seefor Super Crew. They're a b-boy crew. They won the second season of America's Best Dance Crew, and then they danced with Jabberwockies there in Vegas.
Shout out Super Crew. We know our Super Crew and Jabberwocky. Oh yeah.
Battle Monkeys is one of the crews within Super Crew. Battle Monkeys is the Riverside division of Super Crew. So that's all the homies in the video. So from our b-boy crew. So we had so much fun making that. That was so much fun.
That's dope. And it was all in the IE. All that was made in the IE, man.
Yeah, it's downtown Riverside. And then the shit that looks like we're in the middle of nowhere, we just went Paris, what's that, D Street, and just went back up in there. For all the
real nigga.
Nowhere,
real nigga.
Nothing. And then yeah.
I love it, man. Well, hey, bro, before we get about it, I want to ask you, I always ask everyone that come on here, the reason I choose my guests, I like people because it's people that, one, I admire their grind, I admire what they do, and I want people I love their story. I love hearing people's story. What advice do you have for maybe another rapper, another entertainer, another artist that is from the IE, that is maybe from a suburban city that's right outside the big city, how making it, grinding, and then even when those blows do happen, like in your story, like you were saying, like, bro, you done been in this shit for a while now. You done been very up, and your music is still fire. You just dropped the video that is so prevalent today. So what is the secret? What is that secret to the drive? What is that to you that you'll say? Or your advice?
Mine is, I don't have any advice on the grind or making it. It's so competitive nowadays. I mean, you got a better chance of making it to the NFL than you become a big rap artist. But if it's what you love to do, I mean, do it. I'm 42 now. I'll be 43 this year, and I feel like my best music is still ahead of me. Like this project that I just dropped, I feel like this is my best work, and I got stuff that I'm working on. It's sitting here on this computer that I know is shitting on that. So, but it excites me. So my life at this point is about managing my happiness, doing what makes me, not only what makes me happy, but managing my joy.
Yeah.
So they
want to make you happy.
Yeah, for sure. I say that because I'm a father. I have a wife and I have 2 kids. So I'm not the top. I'm not the top of my totem pole anymore. You know what I mean? I'm responsible for their happiness at this point. So, but I still want to make sure I get my time in for myself. And I really enjoy being creative, making these videos. Hopefully that passion comes across and you see that in it. But find out what you're about. You know what I mean? And you can contradict yourself. You might be passionate about something now and stand for something, and your ideas might change. I mean, you look at Tupac. I mean, contradicting himself all the time, but he wears his heart on his sleeve. So find out what's important to you now and believe in it and give it your all. And once you're proud of something, put it out, because once you put it out, it's going to be there for everybody to judge. And people might attack you. They might say this or that. But if you did your best and you put your work in and it's something you can stand behind and be proud of, whatever happens after that is what it is. So,
hey, man. Bro, my nigga Seefor, bro. I appreciate you so much, bro. I appreciate you coming on here, bro. Hey, shout it out. Let the people know where to get your music, where to get everything. I'm sure you got a lot of stuff coming up. I mean, you got something coming up you want to drop? My brother Reem hates when I ask this. Any exclusives? I'm
doing videos for the 2 other songs on the EP. So we're gonna do I'm gonna do a simple one for collusion because that's pretty straightforward. And then Aquarius, Believe in Me. That video is gonna be crazy. So I got the ideas brewing. I just want to make sure that I can pull off. You know what I mean? Because you have your limitations on what I can do. I don't have a big budget, so I got to know what I can do. So I'm gonna be dropping a video for that. But now I would appreciate if everybody would go listen to the EP. You can hit me directly on my Instagram, Seefor Yourself. I respond to everything. But let me know what you think. I'm one of them dudes you can hit. I'll hit you back. And check out the website. I am Seefor Yourself. I got my old work on there too. And
for people that don't know, when they hear if they're not watching, if they're watching this, it's CS as in Sam, EEFOR YOURSELEF. See for yourself. I want to just say that because some people be like, "See, I'll put they'll put the letter C and then like the number 4." Like they'll just butcher you. Like, yeah, I had to make that for my hood niggas that be listening to this while they smoking in the whip. So yeah, so, man. But nah, honestly, brother, like your music is amazing and I love your story. I'm glad you were so open with me, said everything. And brother, you gotta come. This can't be the last time. When you drop something else, man, we gotta bring you on here again.
We'll get it in. I got when I get to this next project by the end of the year, it's gonna be fun.
Hopefully we can have face-to-face by then. It could actually be in real life. You can come to the studio.
I'm not dropping my next project until I can get on the stage. So if that's 22, 23, then that is what it is. But I have to be on stage performing, interacting with people, the camaraderie. That's what I love. So
I love it. I love it, man.
But I appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time, digging in, actually listening to the music. I've been on tons of shows, interviews. They're like, so who are you? Okay, spit a 16. Thanks for
Nah, man, you know what? I'm not. I am a fan of your music. I like your music. It's dope as shit. It's a vibe. I'm gonna be real. Emotional Roller Coaster is my shit, though. I really love that record. I love your newest record. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. The newest record, I'm listening to it. It makes me want to go outside and go think and go do something right now because it's so like Aquarius. The last song just kind of makes me feel good, but it still makes me go there.
Yeah.
But Emotional Roller Coaster, I'm gonna light up 2 doobies, sit in a cool room, chill out, and you take me there. The sonics, the vibes. I love when you're talking about the actual singing and progression. So much singing and good shit, but it's actual bars. Yep. So people go. It's available on Spotify, Apple Music, all your streaming services. We're getting them streams up. I'm sure you got Bandcamp. You on Bandcamp?
I'm not on Bandcamp heavy. So just check. If you're not on the stream sites, you can go directly to my website. It's on there. You can download it.
Cool, for sure, man.
It's all good. Your time, people's time is valuable. So
I appreciate it, brother. Yep. All right, and for this podcast and Argoon Radio, go to BigCaliWorld.com. And also, you can go to the YouTube channel, Big Cali World. Subscribe. Tell a friend. We are trying to get this popping. I want to get subscribers up. So let your friend, your baby mama, sister-in-law, cousin Tracy, tell them all. We here. We about to get it in, man. 2021, we going to keep doing these. Every week, we dropping something. Either Big Cali World, Argoon Radio. The Twitch channel is coming soon. So stay tuned to that. And, we're going to do a lot, man. 2021 is going to be great. I feel good about it. Love each other, y'all, man. Stop that hate, man. I see it. I don't like this, man. I'm sick of explaining my country on Clubhouse to people that's from other countries. They asking me too many questions I can't answer. All right. Let's get it together, y'all. But for this, for all your podcast needs, if you guys want to do a podcast, start a podcast. Everyone hits me up all the time. I'm telling you, this is what you do. Go to productiveculture.com/podcast. And how did you hear about a section? Put in Big Cali World or Argoon Radio. You'll get a discount. You'll get even a lot of little, I ain't gonna say the bundles. Just hit them up. Just do it. Because there's so much you can get. If you just do it, test me. Hit me and tell me you did it first. And then if that don't work, then call me. Then I'll figure it out from there. All right? We're gonna play that game. All right. There we go. Shout out UTV Lifestyle. You know what it is, man. For all clothes, all UTV Lifestyle, you see the pillow in the back. Go to utvlifestyle.store, clothing, accessories. They even got the Taylor Gang collab. We got a lot of stuff going, man. 2021 is a vibe. See for yourself.
All right, Chris.
Brother. All right, bro. You stupid, bro. I love you, bro. You're in. All right, I'll let you, man. Peace.
Big Cali world all the time. Extra lit, extra lit, extra lit. Big Cali world all the time. Extra lit, extra lit, extra lit. Big Cali world all the time. Extra lit, extra lit, extra lit. Big Cali world all the time. Extra lit, extra lit, extra lit. Ain't nobody fresh like C. Built like bear, nigga strong like tree. Strong like Kush, too hype like E. Entourage stick so thick like she. First class bitch, you know all 3 seats. Got the pass like free, talking free like cheap. You gon' cheat, hoodie bigger than whatever you gon' be. We gon' stack like cheese, that's 100 some G, nigga. Big Cali world all the time, extra lit, extra lit, extra lit. Big Cali world all the time, extra lit, extra lit, extra lit. Big Cali world all the time, extra lit.